it's Rich here for Aurora Music Works, and today we are going to look at the quite convoluted musical history of the Misfits and some of their adjacent bands. And what better guitar to do it on than the Dean Doyle Annihilator X, this absolute beauty here in front of me. So before we get into the guitar, tell me, do you know much about the Misfits?
I know that it's like 70s era punk. I just know that the logo from being on loads of t-shirts. So I know that they're like an influential band, but I've probably heard their music, but I don't think I can name you a Misfits song.
How do you think they sound based on the imagery?
So I think it's like the Ramones, but slightly more aggressive and dark.
Oh, okay.
Is that
That's a
in the
pretty
ballpark?
good. Yeah, you'll be surprised. There's a lot of variety in like the things that they've done and their musical adjacent projects.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I do like the imagery of the logos and like what
the Crimson Skull.
Is that what it's called?
It's called the Crimson Skull.
Well, I do like that. Like from all the artwork and stuff that I've seen, they look like a cool band.
Well, the guitar, as I said, that we are going to be showing off today is this absolute beauty. So this is the Doyle Dean Annihilator X. So do you want to tell me a little bit about the guitar?
Yeah, so as you mentioned, this is from the X range, which is like Dean's more accessible price point guitar. Still loads of cool features and really cool designs and pretty much the essential stuff what you want from like a cool Dean metal guitar, but at a slightly more accessible price point. So maybe it doesn't have all the bells and whistles, but it's still a really cool guitar. So it's got, you know, the slim D neck shape, which I really like, which I think is mainly kept to the X range, and I actually find them more comfortable than some like from the guitars from the 79 range. But yeah, this is just a single pickup guitar, so you just got the one volume knob. They didn't bother with a tone knob, so maybe the Misfits, they don't really care about being subtle with their guitar tones. So I'm assuming
Definitely not.
It's got a Floyd Rose special. It's got a 12-inch fretboard radius. It's a mahogany body with a rosewood fingerboard. And yeah, it's just a really cool guitar. It's surprisingly comfortable. If you look at the shape, you'd probably expect this to be very hard to just play in your lap and stuff, but actually it's surprisingly comfortable. It's cool because it's a flat top guitar with some nice bevels on the side.
I think for the price point as well, it's an incredible showpiece guitar.
Yeah. And like the logo on the headstock as well is very cool.
Yeah, well, this is one of the many little Easter eggs that are hidden on this guitar. So obviously we've got the famous Dean wings, but they've been replaced with bat wings. The guitar is fully vegan because Doyle is vegan. So that's like really cool little touches. Like, you know, there's attention to detail, even though it's an X-range guitar.
Yeah.
You know, we did the Kerry King recently, and again, that's a guitar that's full of little tiny Easter eggs. And I think that's something that Dean do wonderfully, is like they really respect the artists they work with on the signature and the X-range models. So yeah, it's a fantastic piece.
Yeah.
Do you know why the body shape is shaped like that?
I'm assuming because it's kind of supposed to look like a bat. Is that not?
You are correct. It's because Doyle is a massive Batman fan. And when he designed the first version of this for himself, he wanted it to look like the Batman logo.
Oh, cool.
So there you go. There's another little Misfits fact.
Oh, nice.
You might have guessed by my t-shirt that I am quite a fan of the Misfits and Danzig and Doyle in particular. So without further ado, let's go to someone who doesn't like that band as much as I do.
Well,
And
maybe I will.
Yeah, we don't know.
Yeah.
And we'll see if you can guess your way around some Misfits songs.
Cool.
So the first song that we are going to go through is Some Kind of Hate off the album Static Age. So I think the first thing I'll always say with that is teenage kicks are hard to beat.
Yeah, well, just because of like the chord progression and like the way
Yeah.
Okay, so who's in the band? Do you know the mem?
Yeah, so this is a bit of a weird lineup because Doyle isn't in the band at this point. His brother Jerry Only is playing bass at this point with Glenn.
Okay, so he's not even in this incarnation of the band.
During this time frame, there are around 4 guitarists that they went through.
Okay, so me thinking, I did think that they were from New York, but you have since informed me that they're from New Jersey.
Yeah, so dangerously close.
Yeah, because
Dangerously
I was thinking like, I was just associating, you know, like 1970s early punk sound. That's what I kind of thought that they were.
Yeah, so they're very tied in with bands like Black Flag and things like that. Like later on in lineups, like Black Flag members played drums, which is a guy called Robo. But yeah, so that whole New York punk scene, they were very, very ingrained in, but they are a New Jersey band.
Okay, so anyway, so this is my interpretation of what I think the riff is, and I'm playing it in standard tuning. So this is, yeah, I'll just give it a go.
Yeah.
More or less.
Nice, simple garage rock riff.
Yeah. I guess before when you told me that we were going to be shooting this video, I was like, okay, we're going to do a blind listen. How hard are these riffs? Just so I can mentally prepare. And you said they're not going to be the trickiest one.
No, it's interesting because Doyle has always said he's a terrible guitarist. Like, he started playing guitar when he was 16 and essentially went straight out on tour with Misfits. So the signature model of this actually has notations on the side.
All right. Okay. So like his own signature model that he plays.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Literally saying like F,
Okay.
A, etc.
Yeah.
So
I could use that on gigs. That's
yeah.
When you've
So
had a few too many
it was, I think, from what I gather, Jerry, his brother, taped them on the side of his guitar so we'd know where like the root notes lay.
That's very punk, to be fair.
It's very, very punk rock. But as Doyle gets on in his career, he does become a really, really good guitarist.
And does he play like lead and rhythm as well, or is he mainly like a rhythm guy?
Predominantly, he is just about big riffs. But he always said he's a really, really like average guitarist, but he's more in the school of thought that like good songwriting doesn't necessarily need like virtuoso playing. Simplicity in songwriting is really important. There's a reason why every dude plays Wonderwall at a party.
Yeah.
You know, it's still a great song.
Yeah. They probably should stop doing that, though.
They probably should. Maybe they should learn some Misfits.
Yeah. I mean, it's probably easier. And I'm literally just playing like power chords. It's just. I mean, that main riff is just 3 power chords, just in A minor. So pretty standard stuff. But it's cool. It's probably also mainly about the atmosphere of the song, the production, like the guitar tone, like the lyrics, everything is kind of more. What's the word? Like kind of dark, gloomy.
Yeah. I mean, lyrically, it's incredibly dark. So the reason I kind of picked that song for you to sort of showcase the guitar is mainly because of like the staccato rhythm. You know, it's more of a rhythm piece as opposed to like lead heavy and stuff.
Yeah.
So I felt like that guitar really lends itself to those sort of like stop-starty riffs and like more of a groove.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I suppose it's like very much in the punk sort of ethos of playing guitar. It's like just like a lot of down-picked rhythm stuff. This guitar is probably well suited for that in the fact that it's just got the single bridge pickup. So you just want that aggressive, bright attack that comes from just a single pickup guitar in the bridge position. Like you can hear how bright it can get, and that's really good for like that attack. So yeah, no, definitely I can see why this would be like the kind of perfect punk guitar.
Okay, so like early parts of the career of Misfits are like strangely prolific. They put out a lot of singles, a lot of EPs, a couple of albums, and then early 80s they just split. So this is the Henry Rollins connection. Henry Rollins from Black Flag actually knew they were splitting for ages because Glenn Danzig was just like, I hate this band, I'm going to leave. So he did. And this brings us on to the next track that I have picked for Luca to learn on a blind listen. So I've picked for you Twist of Cain from Danzig's debut album. I've picked it mainly to sort of showcase a more riffy nature. It's got a lot of pinch harmonics, like again, it is a groove piece, and I absolutely love groove. This is my favorite track off the album, and I'd argue probably my favorite thing that's Misfits sort of adjacent. But yeah, so Glenn Danzig was the original singer of the Misfits, and the primary songwriter, depending on how you want to look at legal proceedings that have followed the band around. There are a lot of disputes.
Sounds like there was some drama.
There was a lot of drama, and there constantly is. But yeah, so Glenn kind of left and immediately signed to a major label after doing a band called Sarwin. Yes, I remember to pronounce that correctly. It's not Samhain, internet. It's not Samhain. So yeah, he did Sarwin, which essentially evolved into a solo project, and it was a huge hit. Rick Rubin produced their debut album. It's a great record.
And so that's Glenn Danzig's solo.
Yeah.
Thing.
In later years, weirdly, Doyle left the Misfits in around the sort of late 90s, and after he left, he toured with Glenn Danzig doing a brief Misfits set in the middle of like Danzig solo shows.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there is a connect there between the two. So at one point, half of the Misfits were in Danzig.
The only Danzig tune I know is Mother, which I know that you weren't going to play because I think
Everyone is. Everyone and their mother.
Yeah. That's true. That's true.
But Twist of Cain is something that my old band used to soundcheck a little bit.
Okay, cool.
Just because that riff is really cool.
Nice.
Locks in. And it was a big radio hit as well.
Okay.
Like that entire album was like really, really big. So he's gone from, late 80s, Misfits splitting, doing Sarwin for a while, and then, Danzig takes over the world.
I mean, first of all, it sounds like the perfect like driving song. But it doesn't sound like it's like that on. It sounds like just the first. Is it that, or is it? No, the first one, yeah. And then
Inverse.
something like that.
Yeah, it's inverted power chords.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think it's a little higher than that, maybe.
Yeah. So I was wrong. Yeah, I was playing B flat. I think it's E flat. Something like that. It's a cool riff. I'm into it. It's almost like bluesy in a way,
Yeah, I think that entire album is like, compared to where he'd been with Misfits musically, like it's a lot more interesting. It's a lot more metallic, which is something that I think sort of follows the Misfits around, and particularly Doyle, like playing styles. Like it goes from like doo-woppy in parts and like garage rocky to punk rock to like a lot more metal. Glenn Danzig's career is a incredibly weird one musically, because he goes to do like industrial. He's now doing really atmospheric, like borderline, like gospely blues stuff. It's all evil. He's got to sound like evil Elvis on every track.
It does sound more like aggressive, but also a bit more like dry compared to the previous one. You can tell that the production is definitely in a different era compared to like that 1970s tune, which was a lot more like rough around the edges production-wise. This sounds very like clean.
It's classic Rick Rubin production from that era. It's just radio. It's super radio friendly.
Yeah.
So the reason I picked that for you is mainly just to sort of show off the action and sort of the playability and things like pinch harmonics.
As I said earlier, the thing with the X range that I do really like is the necks on them, because like personally, a slim neck, and especially, so this is also like 25.5-inch scale length, whereas like all of the other Deans that we've got in stock, so like the MLs, for example, they're 24.75-inch. I just prefer a longer scale length because I think it's just like, it just feels better to me. I don't know why, but also with the neck shape, I really like that they're like D shape. It means that to me it's super comfortable to like do bends. So when you want to do like it's just super comfortable. And again, like that's what I was saying. Looking at this guitar, maybe you would be like, oh, I'm not sure if it's going to be super easy to play because of the shape. But honestly, the neck is really comfortable, and you got loads of access because of the neck carve on either side.
So while all of the Danzig mainstream radio play and being a massive superstar was kind of going on, the Misfits kind of didn't do anything for a good while. In the sort of like late 90s, they got the rights to the name. They made an agreement with Glenn Danzig that they could perform under the name The Misfits. And I think within like 2 weeks of that court ruling, they were back in the studio with a new vocalist, and they produced an album called American Psycho, which was okay, but kind of treading water a little bit. It was very much like the greatest hits of the Misfits. But they followed that up with an album called Famous Monsters, which actually sort of toed some new ground for them. It's a Doyle album. It's a lot more metal, little more aggressive, but it still keeps that like doo-woppy kind of feel. So I picked the lead single off that, which is a song called Scream.
Was it a big hit? Like this comeback? Was it like a comeback album, or was it more?
No, it was. I don't think the Misfits have ever been a band that have truly broke out beyond the merchandise. Danzig arguably had a better musical career than everyone else, on mainstream success.
Yeah.
But this album was really well received. Like Misfits fans absolutely loved it.
Really, even compared to like classic era, like the
Yeah. I'd argue that this is the album that when you were imagining what the Misfits sounded like, it sounds like. So it's very, very weird that it's this late in their career and with only 2 original members. That they actually hit the sound that I would argue people would go, oh, that's the Misfits.
Interesting.
Okay, so this is Scream.
Yeah, so you're right that this is like probably what I would have imagined, and although slightly maybe more modern production than I was expecting when I thought.
Yeah, so this was I think like 98, 99.
Okay,
so
yeah.
It's in that era of new metal production. So even for a 4-piece, like it sounds massive.
Yeah. Let me see if I can remember exactly. It's like that. It wasn't quite right, but I know that those chords are in there, and then it's like just about like the palm muting, the constant like. I don't know if he's going alternate picking or all down.
He is all down pick.
Okay.
All
so
down pick all day.
Let me try that. Something, yeah, that kind of, it's hard to keep up.
Yeah. So for someone who says he's not a very good player.
Yeah, well, that's what you get often with these guys who are like punk or like or like metal guys, like James Hetfield, but like even less. Because Metallica can be quite technical, but like a lot of punk guys and like grunge guys, it's just the fact that they've like built their weird technique based off the style that does actually make it quite technical and difficult to play.
You can kind of tell he learned from a bass player.
Yeah, because they like dig in a lot. Yeah.
So I picked that one for you specifically just to sort of show you there's like close groupings of notes, that faster like down picky style.
Yeah.
Again, it just bounces off that, like it flows out of that guitar.
Yeah. And again, like that's what's good with the single pickup thing, because it's like you don't for this kind of like rhythm, you just want like that aggressive bridge pickup.
Yeah, it's a really good fun song. So yeah, it's one of my favorite Misfits records, which is a little bit controversial because not a lot of people actually like Mikhail Graves. But after that, they actually reunited with Glenn Danzig in the end. They were going to sue each other, Jerry Only and Glenn Danzig, and then through like the litigation process, they agreed to do a set amount of dates, but not as the Misfits, as the original Misfits. So Doyle briefly left the band after this album dropped, and then came back into the fold for the reunion kind of run.
Oh, cool. When was the reunion?
So it's kind of still sort of ongoing. They did Coachella last year.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah. They were like same billing as My Chemical Romance, which are a band like hugely influenced.
Right, okay.
Like I can list you a bunch of bands that are like very heavy on the Misfits influence, even though they don't sound like them. You've got stuff like AFI, My Chemical Romance, British band to give a shout out to is Creeper. But any horror punk band is pretty much just wholesale been influenced by early Misfits. Cool. So bringing me on to our final song of the bunch. The man himself, Doyle Wolfgang von Frankenstein, has done 2 solo albums.
Okay.
And this is a track off his newest one, which is called Headhunter. And the reason I picked this one is this is probably like Doyle's most like proficient playing. It's a bit more of his influence as opposed to kind of the horror-y stuff. So lyrically, it's still very fun. It's about chopping off people's heads and things, but in a more sort of serious and aggressive manner. It's just a really, really fun song, really, really fast. And I think it's it's very, very modern metal. Sounds like things like Cancer Bats, like modern Anthrax, things like that. So yeah, it's really, really fun song.
Cool.
So I'm going to play you Headhunter.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Definitely a lot more thrashy, almost, and like a lot more
Hyper aggressive.
Yeah.
When you compare it with Some Kind of Hate.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it was just production wise, again, like a lot more in your face. Really cool. Like I was trying to figure it out just like by hearing it, but I won't be. I just have to tell you, I won't be able to do this all down picked. If he does this all down picked, I mean, hats off to it, because it's insane.
Hats off to you, Doyle.
Something like that, but then there's like it alternates on the verse. I think something else happens.
Yeah,
but yeah,
and so there's like,
this the kind of stabs, the staccato stuff.
yeah, it's a sucker for. Yeah. I know we're not really talking about vocals, but I am also a sucker for like false chord singing.
Oh yeah.
But it's like you're barely in tune with the song. It's like you're barely making key. Like
he's just been doing this like a while. Then he's still
I've not even mentioned like all of the other side projects he's done either, because he did a very Misfit sounding solo project, and he was just doing little bits with Glenn Danzig on the touring circuit, but like the solo albums have been like very much like where he's at. He's also married to Alyssa, who's the former vocalist for Arch Enemy.
Okay, cool.
So you can sort of see like there's more metal influence in his playing. So yeah, like his stuff's really, really good fun, like his solo stuff. And I actually think it's a little bit before its time. You're hearing that thrash crossover sort of stuff now a lot more in like modern metal playing. So,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Well, I have one more Easter egg.
Okay, go for it.
Which is that you were talking about like thrash music and stuff, and obviously we've covered some Kerry King stuff recently.
Yeah.
Is that Slayer's drummer actually played on the Misfits reunion? It's one of those like nice little like full circle things.
So was that for the original Misfits?
Like, the original Misfits.
Okay, so that lineup. Oh, that's cool. So it's all in the Dean kind of.
Yeah, like the Dean family seems to sort of win out again. But I picked that one mainly because I just wanted to see you thrash out on that thing.
Yeah.
We've talked technicalities, and we've talked about the fantastic build quality, the like playability, the surprising comfort of it.
There's something about like a single pickup guitar that in general gets you in like a mindset as a player. The fact that you don't have bells and whistles to get in your way, so it's perfect if you do just want to like rock out and like do the
it's turn it on and go, which I think is very much as well like musically in keeping with like the Misfits.
So it's super like it makes sense that this is his signature style, because just from the shape, the features, or like lack of bells and whistles, and like the satin feel as well, because didn't you say he plays all of his gigs shirtless?
I was going to say, so yeah, this is another weird Easter egg about this range. So the signature model version has like no extruding screws. Like there's nothing external to the body, because it would itch him and scratch him when he played. So it's really, really feature packed. Like I honestly think the Annihilator is like really interesting, really respectful to the artist, and like clearly taking a lot of direction from the artist as well. And I think sometimes with signature models, it can just be a colorway and a pickup choice. And I think especially with the past two Deans that we've looked at, it really is a signature model.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. It's like both this one and the Kerry King. Yeah, you can tell that they put loads of attention to detail.
Right. So thank you very much for joining us for this look and brief walk through the very convoluted history of the Misfits. Doyle, Glenn Danzig, Jerry Only, and all of the 9,000 drummers they've had. And taking a look at this fantastic guitar. So that again is the Dean Doyle Annihilator X. Yeah, just a fantastic piece. I'm really, really stoked to have got to check out with you today. So thank you very much, Luca, for humoring me and guessing your way through the Misfits.
Yeah, no, it was fun. I mean,
I have one last question for you. Yeah. What do you think of the Misfits?
I'll be honest. My favorite tune that you've played today has probably been the Danzig one, if I was to go off my personal taste. The rest of them, like I like the first song you showed me from like the 1970s era, because I almost like the fact that for this kind of style of music, or that era, that the production wasn't not that any of them had polished production, but the 1970s kind of gloomy garage sound was really cool.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites by them because it could easily be a song about taking your sweetheart out for ice cream. It's very doo-wop, but then lyrically it's about maggots in the eyes of love. So yeah, so it's a fantastic little song. But yeah, thank you very much for checking us out. If you want to learn more about this guitar, follow the links below. And if you want to hear more from us and check out more of our videos, just check the Watch Next on YouTube. Thank you very much. Thank you for welcoming me to the channel. Hopefully you'll see more of me soon.